Today we're going to be doing a little project to my tractor. This is a BX-25 Kubota tractor, which is a subcompact small tractor. And if you've got one like this might be useful to you. So Kubota recommends at 500 hours to replace the fuel filter. So that's what we're going to do. I'm a little over 500 hours, and like I think I'm suspect that the fuel filter may be a little dirty because sometimes I've had the engine kind of lose power a little bit here and there. It kind of feels like it's getting not getting enough fuel. So we'll do this project. I think it's going to be pretty straightforward. We'll see. Let's take a look. Okay, this tractor has two fuel filters. One is located up here under the hood, probably about right here in behind the engine cover, and the other is located down here underneath. And we're going to change both of those. So let's do the one under the hood first. I'll show you where that's at. The one filter is located right here. So you see I'm putting my finger on it right there. That's one fuel filter. So okay, down underneath the tractor, you can see there's the mid PTO. Right here is going to be your other fuel filter. And in this little component right here, also in the fuel line, is the fuel pump. So the two filters we're going to change is this one and the other one under the hood. So you'll want to pick up a couple of these filters. Here it is. There's the part number. Pretty simple inline filter here, and for this project, of course, you need two of them. So we got a couple of zip ties right here. I think we're just going to get those out of the way. So there's a bolt right here that's clamping it, so we'll use this 10mm socket to take that off. Just take that clamp out and get it out of the way. So something you want to do with this to minimize the amount of fuel that gets spilled, because it makes a mess, is to clamp them off. And I'm just going to use these to clamp this off. They make better pinch-off tools than this that don't have teeth in it like these do, but this is all I got, so this is what we're going with. Let me get these clamps loose before I pinch that off. All right, now we'll put our pinch off back on there. So you can't help but getting fuel spilt when you do this. So even if you pinched it off, there's whatever fuel that's in there, it's going to leak out. So it's got, you just have to live with that. Get these things to twist first, like that. They're much easier to get off. All right, here's our new filter. All right, so I just use the pliers to compress that clamp and reattach it. Put it back up here where it goes. Okay. All right, so we got the clamps back on. We'll take these back off. Make sure we didn't damage that hose there. Okay, so we'll put the clamp back. All right, and we'll just put a zip tie back here to where we cut these loose here earlier. You don't want to clamp that zip tie really tight because you don't want to compress the fuel line with it. Just to kind of hold those wires up so they don't hang down. All right, that one's good to go. This gives you an idea of how much diesel fuel you actually leak. It's not much, and a lot of that was inside the fuel filter. So if you always use a pan, you won't make too big of a mess and clamp off the lines. So for this other fuel filter, like I said, it's located right in behind about right here. I think you could reach up from underneath and on the top and get it loose. But instead of doing that, I'm going to take this front engine cover off. I've never had it off before, so I kind of want to do it. I don't think this is required, but it will make this job certainly easier. So we'll take that engine cover off next. So to take the engine cover off, we have to take this guard off the front. So there's 4 bolts with nuts in behind holding it on, so we'll do those next. This is 17 millimeter, by the way. Okay, one of the last things you got to do to get that engine cover off is to take loose that clamp right there, which holds the extension on for the exhaust pipe. It's right there. It's going to be a ratchet with a 5/16 socket on a universal joint. Okay, that took a pair of pliers to get it loose, to kind of break it loose, because I've never had it off before. All right, with the engine cover off, you can really get to everything in here. Of course, now you can see where our fuel filter is, and it's going to be much easier to work on than trying to get in behind there and do it. A little twist like that really helps getting this loose. There's our old filter. Something you want to keep in mind is these filters have an arrow. You can barely see it, but there's an arrow right there. That's the direction you want the flow to be, so you want to be sure you keep that fuel flowing in the correct direction for the filter. Okay, so I'm going to leave that engine cover off, and I'm going to run the tractor for a while. The reason why I recommend doing that is because I'm going to do that so I can check for leaks really thoroughly. Because where we hook both of those filters up, we should make sure that there's no fuel leaks in those areas. So what you want to do is put the key in the accessory position and leave it like that for just a few minutes. That turns the electric pump on, and I noticed that the one filter up by the engine that was empty I could see it was full of fuel after I had it on for a few minutes. Okay, I went ahead and just bolted that front guard back on, just the way we took it off. So I think the tractor's back together and ready to roll. Something I learned from this video is I could really use some of those pinch off tools. They actually make some tools that are just made for pinching off rubber hoses like that. I used some vice grips that I had, which have teeth on them, so I was a little paranoid about leaving them on there for very long, so I tried to pinch them for the minimum amount of time. But, you know, I think I may pick me up some of those actual clamp pinch off tools for next time I do a project like this where I need to pinch a rubber line. Okay guys, thanks for watching. Hope it was helpful changing the fuel filters in the little tractor here.